the OB 0.37 patch notes, Chaos in Rome. Currently, we are live. I just wanted to verify that. Currently, the building that we normally do patch notes in is under construction. They're setting up for next year. Obviously, we have HRX just coming up. So for now, we're just going to be doing these patch notes just in the stream room. Patch notes should resume on a normal schedule after HRX. But this is where we're going to be so far. How you doing, Austin?
Doing great. Happy to be in this tiny little room with you.
I've never felt closer, and that makes me scared. Very scared
you
to be this close to you.
You should be.
All right, guys. So we're just going to be going through everything. This is a patch mostly focused on content. So we have, I believe, 4 or 5 new cards and the same number of reworks. And then we have our gauntlet rotation. And then, of course, we have some general bug fixes. So this one shouldn't take too long. So first up here, we have been spoiling this on social media. And I'm pretty excited for this one. We have the new Roman goddess, Discordia, coming up on screen right now. And this is a 4-mana, 3/3 ranged unit. Swap your hand with your opponent. So kind of what was the design space and thought process that went into this card?
Yeah, so for Discordia, we wanted to do something that was just crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the goddess of chaos in Discord. So this sort of thing just made sense, right? So you're swapping your hand with your opponents. It's completely changing everything that's going on in the game. We kind of set out, it's like, didn't necessarily want to be like, this one needs to be like super competitively viable necessarily. Although I'm sure some people will find, some creative uses of the card and ways to maybe even build a deck around her. But that really wasn't the intent. We just wanted a really unique effect that was fun and different and kind of encapsulated what she as a goddess was about. So I think this kind of definitely fills that hole of what we were trying to do. Yeah,
and you can see there we're just going to be playing the video a couple times. So it will swap everything. There's definitely a couple specific strategies that you're going to be able to run with this card as well. I know I was trying one, a promote, dump my hand real fast, swap it. It was going okay. I'm excited to actually see what the community can come up with for this. Moving on, we do have a new Hindu card called Insight. And honestly, before we show this, it is important to note that there are some changes coming to Reincarnate, or at least being experimented with.
I don't know how many people caught that, but I kind of spoiled that on Twitter before, that we were looking into some changes for how Reincarnate works.
So let me just bring this up here. We don't have our fancy production set up normally, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to get this one looking good. So there we go. Insight. This is going to be a 3-mana epic spell for Hindu, replacing your leader ability with discover a card in your deck.
Yes, this is a very powerful effect. So it's a new leader replacement card. So just another one of that arsenal that you'll have access to. And I'm not going to go into details around how Reincarnate is changing, but this is a very useful card for tying in with how that's going to work. But by itself, it's just a very powerful card. So if you're committing 3 mana into getting a new leader ability, the ability will cost 2 mana, that is just discover a card. So it's a very powerful filtering tool, so you're able to find the right specific pieces that you're looking for whatever the current situation is. So this one's been very, very powerful in internal playtesting in terms of being able to deal with specific situations that you need to, although you are having to pay an upfront cost to get that effect.
And then moving on, we have a new card as well. This is going to be a Chinese spell called Mana Burst. So bringing this one up, this one is a new mechanic that we haven't seen inside Hand of the Gods. So you're dealing damage equal to your opponent's unused mana. It is a 1-mana rare card as well.
Yep, this is one of those cards where it is probably better later on in the game, where there's more situations where people are potentially not using a lot. They have a larger amount of mana to work with, where obviously there's some scenarios where you're not going to be able to spend it all. So you can do kind of a decent chunk of damage out of nowhere, but it's also can be used early in the game if you just need you need that 1 or maybe 2 damage to finish something off. So it's very flexible in that way. But so it's kind of, we wanted a way that more things that you could potentially have an impact based on how your opponent is playing, things that they're doing. So this is one way that we can do that, where it's based on how much mana they didn't use on their last turn. So So yeah, it's a really unique card in terms of what it's doing.
And then up next, we have a new Mayan spell. This is the last new card coming out. It is a 2-mana rare, and it discards a card from your hand and spawn a 4/4 crazed zombie. So this is the another introduction of some sort of new mechanic that not very prevalent right now inside Hand of the Gods with the discard option.
Yeah, so this card's really cool. It's especially good for Mayan because it's a card that you're getting a powerful effect for the mana cost. You're spending 2 mana to get a 4/4, and it's a crazed zombie, so you don't have the movement penalty. So you're basically at 2 mana for a 4/4. And the downside is you're discarding card, and this is a random discard. You don't get to choose which card you're discarding. It's a random discard. But with the Mayan Pantheon, you have a lot of ways to get things back from your graveyard. So it allows you to kind of downplay that downside. So it's a really fun card, and this is one that we'll definitely be keeping an eye on in terms of its power level. We want to make sure that we get it in the right place, but I think this gives Mayan another really powerful zombie generation tool.
Yeah, and just to note, it is here. I'll actually play the video again. It is a spawn effect, so you're not going to be able to deploy it, even though it is a very powerful and impactful early game card.
That's right.
It will be randomly placed around your summoning stone, so still does have that drawback.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a few reworked cards to go over. Some of these are actually very fun. Here, I'm going to pull up, I think this one is the most interesting to me, just to see how it plays out. And I actually don't even see the card here. I might have messed that one up.
Nice.
We're going to try and get this image in very quickly here. Celestial Armor. We definitely want to show this. Already in use. Okay. We're gonna get this one, guys. Don't worry. I did set this up beforehand.
So much struggle.
There it is. Here we go. We've got it. I'm really not trying to buy time right now. This is not awkward in the slightest.
That's good enough. Toss it in there.
And here we go. Hey, look, Celestial Armor up on screen. So this is an Egyptian spell. Cost has been increased from 3 mana to 8. And now select a friendly unit. Whenever it is targeted, spawn a 4/4 copy of it. So really powerful effect, but really high mana cost.
Yeah, so this is a card that a lot of people probably won't be interested in playing. Some people may find really interesting ways to use it, but it's meant to be it's just a finisher, right? So if you get this on a unit of some substance and it sticks, you're going to be well on your way to winning the game. So, and this is specifically targeting
any
so
targeting
this is using spells. This is if you use an enemy spell, your own spells. If you an enemy attacks with a unit, that counts as targeting. Anything that we're actually selecting that unit individually for an effect counts as targeting. So it is, if you get this card to stick, even though it's it's going to be later in the game, it's 8 mana, you have to have something in play to make use of it. It is a very powerful effect and can win games on its own.
Yeah, and you can even see it here in this video, using your own Sunder on it, attacks, like you mentioned, and spells as well. So something that, if you get it out and it works, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but this is another one we'll obviously, and with all of them, we'll be keeping an eye on it, and if we need to make adjustments, we'll. But yeah, it's a really, really, really powerful effect if you can get it to stick.
Okay, up next we have the Kraken. So before we go into this, let's do a quick explanation. The Kraken, the effect that Poseidon has, I believe, was an independent card originally a while ago, right? Or is that was like dev build? I think it was dev build. Anyways, we have now turned the Kraken off from Poseidon. Poseidon has been reworked as well, so he has a new ability. The Kraken is now simply its own independent card. It's been reduced, so it's going to be 3 mana instead of playing Poseidon for 4. But the ability itself still costs 3 mana to play. Correct.
So still the exact same. It's now just a spell instead of attached to Poseidon's board.
Okay. And then we're going to take a look at the new Poseidon. This one's pretty exciting, actually. So new Poseidon, still going to be a 4 mana 2/2. With the new ability, Warcry, return all enemy units on Poseidon's row to their owner's hand. Add a random god to your hand for each returned.
Yeah, so a very potent effect where you are actually another bounce spell for the Greek Pantheon, also generating gods as well.
Still a legendary. 1 copy of this, though.
Yeah, so you get 1 copy in your deck, and he's not stat efficient as well. But yeah, so you're getting a really big tempo play and card advantage off of this. So Do have to keep in mind that the effect plays on the row in which he is deployed, so you're not always going to be able to get the optimal positioning with him in terms of what you want to do. You have to, wherever you're wanting to target the force, you have to deploy him on that row. But yeah, you can get a lot of value on it. The effects team did a really good job with it in terms of the visuals. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, he's a lot of fun to play now.
I just want to see that video again. I think the effects are really well done for this one. Definitely feels, again, we do want to put a little bit more feeling when it comes to effects and animations for legendary cards. And that wave is super fast. It's like 10 times faster than the Smite wave.
Whoosh.
Okay, so we have 2 more reworked cards to go through. Up next, it is going to be Sacrifice. So we're going to take a look at this card here real quick. I'm just going to get it a little bit bigger on screen. And here we go. This is an Egyptian spell. Cost has been increased from 2 mana to 3. Now, kills a friendly unit and adds 2 copies of it to your hand.
Yeah, this card's been really flexible, and the obvious best case use for it is targeting Afterlife units. So another kind of tool for if you're playing an Afterlife Raw strategy. But it's also really good on just units that you would want multiple copies of. So one really good one that we've seen in playtests is Sobek. If maybe you're gotten kind of the value out of it, you expect he's going to be killed in the next turn. You can kill that Sobek off and get 2 more, and kind of play them out even at the same time and really start getting that engine going. So,
Isis has been pretty good. You can't play it on the same turn, but still,
Yeah,
if you can play an Isis and set it up for a second,
we had initially with the first round of testing that we did on it, because typically when we're doing reworks, we'll do things in steps, and we actually started with it at 2 mana because that was its original cost, and it was absolutely insane. If you 10 mana, you played an Isis and then immediately played this on the Isis.
Save your mana potion.
It was
all game.
It was pretty nuts. So obviously you can't do that anymore. But if you can get an Isis out there and she can survive, you can play it on the next turn and potentially do some really nasty stuff with it.
I think it's really good on Warcries too. You can see in this video just Chaos Spawn, one of the few units that has silence on it. You can get your silence, bring it back, silence multiple units again. So I think this card's going to be pretty flexible.
Yeah.
Still within the Egyptian Pantheon, but I think it gives you a lot of deck building options around it. All right, guys, Sacrifice, that's going to be it for that. So we do have 1 more reworked card here, and this is going to be Void Zone. So Void Zone actually is no longer a Hindu card. So this still 4 mana. Silence all enemies adjacent to either summoning stone, but has been moved from the Hindu Pantheon to the Mayan Pantheon. What was kind of the reasoning around transitioning that over?
Yeah, so there are a couple of reasons around it. One of them was, first of all, the Hindu Pantheon, frankly, didn't need this card. They didn't really need a silence effect. They're doing just fine without it. The card wasn't even being played. But for
Not
the most
really.
part, wasn't
They have
played.
a lot of options.
And the second piece of it is we wanted to rework it to make it a actual usable card. So we changed it to this where you're able to silence multiple units at the time you cast it. There's not any weird conditions around it. It just happens. It's around both summoning enemies around either summoning stone. And it also thematically probably even fit better in the Mayan Pantheon, especially visually.
Yeah.
It looks more something that Mayan would have than the
More
Hindu
dark
Pantheon would
and
have.
yeah.
So it just made sense. And also the Mayan Pantheon is still a little behind the other pantheons in the game. So this will kind of give them a nice extra tool in their toolbox that they can use. Will hopefully help them out a little bit.
All right, and let's just take a quick look at the video for Void Zone. So again, silencing all enemy units around friendly and enemy summoning stones right there. So nice and easy visual for that one. And that does cover all the new cards and the reworked cards. Again, this is a little bit of a smaller patch here. I think next one's going to be a little bit bigger. We'll have more general changes. We are going to go over the new gauntlets that are coming into rotation as well as some bug fixes. And then that's going to be closing out patch notes, guys. So first up, again, we are, kind of in this stream room currently as the set. Our studio is getting worked on for a lot of post-HRX stuff. So Gauntlet 1, weekday. This is going to be rotating in a lot of the old gauntlets that we had before. So Colossal. Decks can only include cards that cost 5 or more. Players start with 5 mana. That's going to be the cutesy Medusa along with 2 core packs and 100 favor for winning that. The weekday Gauntlet 2 will be Marksmanship. Players can only queue with decks that have spells and range units. No melee allowed. 2 core packs, 100 favor, and cutesy Izanami. For the reward, the Weekend Gauntlet 1 Triple Threat, which I always find interesting. It's going to be the map with only 3 playable rows. Any cards that are normally allowed are allowed. That will be the 3 core packs, 150 favor, and cutesy Neath. And then finally, the final Weekend Gauntlet for the OB37 patch rotation is going to be Pantheon Wars, and it will be Egyptian versus Chinese, so only cards within that Pantheon, and that will be 3 core packs, 150 favor, and cutesy Bastet. I know those are only words, and most of you probably forgotten all of them, but we will have patch notes posted within 5 to 10 minutes on our website, so make sure to stay up on social media for that. And then finally, we're going to bust through these bug fixes real quick.
Rap God, let's go.
Rap God. Oh, I don't have water. Oh, no. I can't Rap God this without water.
Try. You gotta do it. On the spot.
Let me clear my throat, you know. Essences can no longer move through blocked paths to hit a unit. Added a tooltip for the reincarnated version of Tribute of Stone. Fix an issue where cards would occasionally get stuck in hand. Fix an issue where leader abilities would not work after using Nox's Warcry. Fix an issue where Ra's leader description would get cut off on lower resolutions. Fix an issue where silence would not affect Spartan Osiris and Pillar of Fortitude. Fix an issue where the turn timer could get stuck and lock players out of action. Player names no longer stay on screen when conceding a game from the menu. Sanctuary now properly prevents poison units from dying. And updated Bakatara's card text to properly reflect his Warcry. Period. Stream over.
8 out of 10.
Out of here.
Not bad.
What? I'll take an 8 out of 10. That's pretty good. I needed some water before I busted into it, but it's fine. I guarantee you no one heard a single one of those. I apologize right now. Thanks for watching, though. We will have all the bug fixes posted on our website here. Any final thoughts before we end the patch note show, Austin?
Looking forward, if any of you guys are going to be at HRX,
Yes.
looking forward to getting to meet some of you guys. I'll definitely be around there. I know you'll be there for most of the time as well.
We'll be doing the Founders Tournament, the open bracket for that, so should be...
So, yeah, definitely if you're going to be around, make sure to stop by.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Make sure to follow us on twitter.com/playhotg, along with subscribing to our YouTube channel. We'll have these patch notes posted up there by this weekend or early next week as well, and that's going to be Play Hand of the Gods, YouTube/Play Hand of the Gods. That's going to be it for us. Thank you for watching once again, and have a good day. Can't wait to get this patch out. Early next week should be Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, I believe. Somewhere around there is what we're shooting for the PC launch, and then we will have console, I believe, by Thursday or Friday. So have a good one, guys.
See you guys.